Please note that this podcast contains information regarding sensitive events, including domestic violence, assault, and abuse, as well as other triggering events such as murder. This podcast is intended for mature audiences. Welcome to Afterglow. This is Season 4, Episode 6, 11 Days After, Sisters in Conflict. When Alice jumped down the rabbit hole, she immediately regretted her decision. A rabbit hole is a metaphor for something that transports someone into a troubling, surreal state or situation. Welcome to Afterglow, the unveiling of the Idaho cult. This podcast will take you down the deepest of rabbit holes as it unfolds. This story is so compelling, so bizarre, and so heinous, it's impossible to look the other way. Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow were dedicated in the most horrible way to an ideology that should only be fiction. Instead, their ideology put them behind bars. Join us as we explore the lives, lies, and diabolical crimes of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. I'm your host, Kathy Brooks. Please follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Afterglow, Unveiling the Idaho Cult. I'm Kathy Brooks. So today we are jumping into Season 4, Episode 6. And woo, this is some emotional stuff going on right here. So hold on to your hat, and please remember this may make you a little bit emotional. It may tug at your heartstrings, and it is real. These people are real, and my heart goes out to all of those that were affected by Lori and Chad. In June of 2020, just 11 days after the discovery of J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan's bodies in Chad Daybell's yard, Lori Vallow Daybell made a poignant jailhouse call to her sister, Summer Shiflet. Summer, as you may remember, is Lori's younger sister. This call, revealed during Lori's trial, offers a rare glimpse into her state of mind. After you listen to this, we will then shift to January of 2021, where an audio recording of Prosecutor Rob Wood speaking with Summer Shiflet ignited a firestorm of controversy. The defense alleged prosecutorial misconduct, claiming Wood attempted to influence and intimidate a key witness. We explore both of these critical pieces of evidence and analyze their impact on the Daybell investigation. I'm your host, Kathy Brooks. Remember, I am a one-woman show. I am asking for you to please consider giving me a 5-star review and write a little review down below. It will help my show grow, and I really appreciate if you can help me with that. There is also a way to support my show on an ongoing basis. You can become a show member. Click on that, and you can make a monthly donation that will just automatically be sent to me. Also, you can do a one-time donation through PayPal, buy me a coffee. The PayPal is a great and easy way to click on it and send me a one-time donation. For everybody that has so far sent me a donation, there have been a couple of you, and I really, really, really appreciate it so much, more than I can say. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and play the recording of Summer Shiflet speaking with her sister, Lori Vallow Daybell, from jail just 11 days after the children's bodies were found. This is Afterglow, Unveiling the Idaho Cult, Season 4, Episode 6, 11 Days After, Sisters in Conflict.
Hi, Sonny. Hi. How are you? Not good. How are you? Not good. isolation for 2 weeks, so I don't know anything that's going on. I haven't talked to anyone. Well, they know that they found Tylee buried in a pet cemetery and JJ buried on Chad's backyard. And we don't understand how that happened or why. Can you tell us? They were devastated. Did you know they were there? Can't talk about it. I don't know what to say, Lori. I mean, you know how much I love you, and Alex was sick to my stomach. I didn't think anything would, you would ever let anything happen to the kids and just let them be thrown away like garbage. I can't take it that you would let this. It's too painful. And you think I let that happen? Yes, I do. That's nice. Is there another explanation? I'm willing to hear it. I don't want to think it. Absolutely, but I can't talk about it. You went off to Hawaii and were dancing on the beach while your kids are in the ground? You had to have known when they were there. I just can't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I want to believe the best in you. I really do. I love you with all my heart. It kills me. But they were just little kids. I don't understand. I understand. You know me, Summer. That's what I thought. You still do. Lori, if you let that happen to them and didn't tell us and left me in the ground like a piece of trash, then I don't know you because you would have never done anything like that. That's correct. And if you knew and didn't tell us, that's not okay. We love them. We would have taken them. We would have taken care of them. You could have gone home and done anything you wanted. That's what you think? I don't know what to think. None of us do. You haven't told us anything. We believed you. We stood up for you. I cannot. I would love to. You cut me and Mom off for 4 months and told everyone not to trust us because we'd tell Adam. And now we find this out and you expect me to just keep going on faith when there's been zero explanation and you expect me to just keep believing without ever having a question? I'm not saying that. That is what you're saying. Either explain it or don't expect me to not be upset and doubt you when the kids are on Chad's property. think I'm in pain?
No, I don't. I think you were dancing on the beach having a great time. Getting married. And you took pictures to prove your kids don't deserve a burial, but you need to get wedding pictures? You don't think that's upsetting?
Nobody knows. I'm sorry, honey.
Then nobody knows except for you and the Lord.
Yeah, ask him.
I have. And guess what? I don't have one scripture that says it's okay for children to be thrown away like garbage in the ground. And that's okay. There is nothing in the scriptures that is godly about hurting a child. Nothing. And they deserve a proper burial with family that loves them at the least. I can't support that. That's hurtful to everyone. That's the most selfish, incredibly selfish thing I can think of. I can't think of anything worse. I don't understand. I don't understand. This is not my Lolo that I've known and loved. I've never even seen you be upset with your kids. I went to bat for you and said that to everyone.
I never have been upset with them. I never have been.
How can you just go on without them, without any upsetness, and without telling us anything, and then expect us to understand?
Nobody knows in the world. Nobody in the world knows what I've been through. And I don't expect you to. All you've seen is what's on TV.
No, that's not.
What he says. And all the influences of all the people around.
Okay, so now I'm deceived.
No,
Everyone in the world is deceived except for you.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that. I'm saying nobody's seen me on the floor crying. Nobody knows what I've been through with my children that I love more than anything.
Lori,
Mine.
you were dancing on a beach with a smile on your face, taking wedding photos.
Yeah, months later.
You don't
Trying
think...
to go on with life, trying to be happy, trying to find some kind of happiness. You think I want to be alone?
Every time I hear Lori say something so stupid like this, well, months later, I was dancing on the beach, smiling. Months later, like it actually matters. Okay, you murdered your kids back at the end of 2019. And yeah, months later, you were married to Chad dancing on the beach. What? The disconnect in her brain is impossible to understand. Months later, so she justifies that because it was months later, and she doesn't want to be alone. God forbid Lori Vallow Daybell's alone. Holy cow! Well, this was husband number 5, so clearly she has a problem being alone. But what in the hell? How is she justifying the fact that she murdered her kids, and it was just months later that she got married, so it's okay, and she doesn't want to be alone, poor thing. It burns my butt so bad. Okay, that's all. I had to interrupt there. I had to interrupt because that one just blows my mind every time I hear it.
Do you think that your mother and your sister and your son don't deserve to know that the children are gone? Why wouldn't you call and tell us that? Why were we cut off? You saying you want to go on and be happy? You're just going to be happy without your family and your life until you're stuck in jail, and I'm the only one stupid enough to be your friend when I've been your best supporter, Lori. I've loved you my whole life. I still do. I can't bear to think anything bad about you. It hurts me. I don't want to see you in jail. I don't want you to be there. I don't want people to misunderstand. If you would tell me the truth, I would stand up for you for the rest of the time. You know that I would.
I know you would.
But there is nothing okay about this. Nothing.
I know.
If you think it's okay, well, you I know you've told me about a lot of your spiritual experiences. You know I've tried to support you in all of them. But I am telling you, because I love you with all my heart, please consider that Chad has lied and been deceived, and that you have been deceived, and that this is not what you think it is. There's nothing okay about killing children. Nothing. And even if you didn't kill them, and Chad didn't kill them, and Alex didn't kill them, you threw them away like garbage in the ground. Tylee's bones are burned. I can't handle that. And threw her in a pet cemetery. You know that's so degrading. How could you let them do that? I don't understand. It's so painful. I can't even tell you. I don't know what else to say, but please consider that you have been deceived. That is not Christ-like. There's nothing good in that. There's nothing good in that. That's not a test for you. They were innocent, and they were loved, and they didn't deserve to be treated that way. And who loved them their whole life and took care of them their whole life? Then why would you have to be buried that way? I didn't. Well, then come up with an explanation publicly.
That's where it ends. It just cuts off like that. I don't know what happened after that. It was a jailhouse call. Maybe that's when the call ended. But yeah, pretty heavy stuff. It breaks my heart to listen to Summer because I really feel like she was fooled into believing that Lori would never hurt her kids. And it was complete and utter shock to find out that those children were buried in Chad's backyard. And it's like she's banging her head against the wall trying to get through to Lori, who no one will ever be able to get through to. I'm pretty sure. So now let's move on to the recorded call that's played at a hearing that was recorded by Garrett Smith, who is Summer Shiflet's attorney here, and Zulema's attorney, and Melanie P's attorney, by the way. He recorded this conversation between Summer and Rob Wood. And Mark Means brought this into this hearing, trying to get Rob Wood removed from the case for prosecutorial misconduct. Let's listen to that. It's Summer and Rob Wood. Here we go.
Okay, well, the conversation, the recording of that's been admitted in the hearing, so you can go ahead and publish that at this time, Mr. Pryor, if you so choose.
And Mr. Means, you had spoken to me earlier this morning and indicating that you had that available. I would defer to you if you could record, if you could publish that for us, please, sir.
Will do.
They're the ones kind of running down the kids' case because they were last seen in Rexburg. Or were last living in Rexburg.
Right.
Tylee was last seen in Yellowstone, but and so we were the ones that knew everything about the case, and so they assigned us on that. I'm just going to tell you right now, we are going to be filing conspiracy to commit murder charges against both Chad and Lori.
Good.
And we're not shy about that. I've told their attorneys.
Okay.
His attorney keeps pretending like I've never said that. Whatever. What? But we have to.
Yeah.
We have to. But I kind of want to give you a little bit of background of where we are and kind of our kind of theory of how this ended up where it was. We know that this is not the same Lori everyone else knew. What's so strange to me is everyone we talked to who knew Lori before this, well, she was primary president. She made quilts for these kids. She made everything fun.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loved her. She loved everyone.
Great mom.
Great mom. That's what everyone says. And so the one thing I'm going to kind of ask you to consider is maybe something happened. I don't know what. I don't know if it's psychological. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know. But something happened, and I think Colby, the way he said it to me, I think is kind of it's like the person who's in that jail cell is not my mom, it's someone else.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is that I shouldn't say the flip side, but I want to be clear. I'm not going to pull any punches on any defendant in this case, right? Like I've got my job to do. And,
absolutely.
But we also want the truth and the whole truth and the context of it. And Chad Daybell is. Did you ever meet Chad?
So I met him once at a Preparing People. I went to one Preparing People thing, and my mom and husband and I went to support Lori, and she wanted to support Mel. So we went and met Chad after he talked for like 90 seconds, maybe, if that. And then he called me when Lori got transferred to the Idaho jail. He texted me and said, Lori wanted to talk to me. And I was like, yeah. And then the second I hung up with her, he called me to ask me about bail for Lori. So I've talked to him maybe 3 times briefly on the phone, never a long extended conversation. But the first thing he said to me when he called me was that he said, Lori hasn't told me very much about the kids, so there's not really much I can tell you about it.
Right. Of course you said that. Well, welcome to Chad Daybell. So what I want to kind of
I have my own opinions formed of him.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
He's highly manipulative.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm not going to say he's highly intelligent, but you don't have to be highly intelligent to be highly manipulative.
Absolutely.
He is extremely manipulative, and I want to. Your sister manipulated him in some ways too, but the context for everything that happened came from Chad.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, we have enough evidence to prosecute him, and we are. The case against your sister is stronger, but I kind of want to give you that background. That's kind of the context we see this as. Like, this guy came in here, and again, I'm not making excuses for anyone, but kind of blew up this situation. And he did not care who died, who got hurt. He did not care at all. And the other thing I'm going to tell you is your sister truly believes that everything she's done has been done in righteousness.
I know.
And I know I'm kind of using LDS speak.
Yeah, it's 100%. That's my interpretation also. Yeah. I think she 100%.
She believes it. Every once in a while, you'll see kind of a little crack in like a jail phone call. Or she'll.
Well, you've heard our conversation, so you know that I get that she's not fully aware of what she's really done.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think she is.
I mean, I'm going to say it this way. I think she knows what she's done.
She knew enough to lie to us about it.
Yeah, but the context under which it was done was this religious, just these ideas that are out there. I can say this because I am LDS, like no basis in the LDS faith. You said it in your phone call to her. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. And we, but again, we're just really grateful for you coming in. And it's going to be hard to talk about these things.
Oh, yeah.
We know that. And they're going to be nice. Because obviously, you're not even a person of interest.
Yeah, we've had that conversation.
Yeah. And, but part of what we need to do is understand when you have a case like this, it's not like just like a meth case, like, oh, you had meth, no one cares who you are.
Yeah, there's no drugs, no alcohol. Yeah. It's just
but this case is we need to understand the context of who these people are.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of what they're going to be asking you about.
Okay.
And
I'll do my best.
like I said, it won't be easy. I know it's going to be a hard interview for you, but
I was wondering if you would be willing to tell me, if you're able to tell me, if there's any progress in what you know about Tylee and her death. Is there any progress in her autopsy where you understand better?
All I can tell, well,
I mean, do you have a cause yet, or is it close to one?
she is at the FBI's state-of-the-art crime lab. Unfortunately, there's a lot of deceased bodies there that they're going through.
I'm sure.
And so we're not, we don't know really anymore yet. And we may never know due to the the destruction of that body. And we hope we'll find out. We may not, but obviously we know it's her. There was soft tissue that was still preserved enough to do DNA tests.
I'm thankful you guys found them. We wouldn't have ever known.
Yeah.
And I would have never dreamed that she would have ever heard them. So.
You know what? And everyone says that.
Yeah.
That's what everybody says. I never would have. So it's a tragic thing.
It really is. Yeah.
And but I just want you to know how grateful we are. I know you don't have to talk to us, and so we're just grateful that you're willing to and helping us that way. And I'm sure kind of difficult knowing like they're asking for information that's going to help them in a case against your sister. But I guess the thing I want you to know is our whole goal is just justice for these kids, you know. And we, our hope as it comes to it. Your sister's actually made some overtures. She might be willing to talk to us.
I hope she does. I pray for that all the time.
We hope she does.
Yeah.
She actually was talking with Chad about talking to us before we found the bodies, just a few days before, and he talked her out of it, which is too bad. It would have been better for her to tell us.
Yeah, sure would have been.
I mean, we were actually just finishing up our warrant on the day that she said that. We were just getting ready to go out there, but it would have been, that would have been even better, and he talked her out of it.
Yeah.
And then the night before, she says to him again, like, hey, what do you think about, and he uses this kind of, I call it spiritual abuse, spiritual manipulation.
Yeah.
We've all seen that guy in the LDS religion whose wife has to obey him because he has the priesthood type thing. And that's not what he says, but it's the same type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm the visionary guy. So, anyway, again, I just wanted to meet with you real quick, introduce myself and Mackenzie.
I want to obviously see you.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't take any joy in doing anything that's going to harm her. I don't take joy in her spending her life in prison. There's nothing.
Sure.
It hurts to think about her being in there.
There's nothing good about a case like this.
There's nothing good about it.
Even if you win a case, like Garrett's been in court, like there's cases, even as a prosecutor, like you take to trial and you win, and you're like, even at the end, you're like, well, nothing good is. It's all bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad.
The one thing, I said this to someone the other day who knows your sister, is our goal is sometimes you get a murder and all you have is that murder and you just have to run out and charge it and then kind of put it together. We were able to put them in jail with a high bail on these lower charges and put together a case. And our goal is to have such a strong case that when she has competent counsel, I don't know if you know this, her attorney's never handled a felony before. He has never done any meaningful criminal work at all. And he doesn't know what he's doing. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Otherwise he's lying about me, but he doesn't know what he's doing. And once we file further charges, she will be appointed counsel who will know what they're doing. And our goal is to put together such a case that they're smart enough to say, it's going to be better to talk. And I think we are. And make it easier for everyone. Make it easier, especially, for Colby. Like, if there's someone who's lost everything, it's him. So anyway, I mainly just wanted to thank you for coming and being with us. And
It's weird to be on the prosecution and defense's side at the same time because I love everybody.
Well, it's a system. I did defense work for I did it for 5 years, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I like defending.
And and I gave me that perspective, right? Like, just because someone's committed a crime doesn't mean they're a horrible person.
So I'm so torn with all of it's such a conflicting feeling to know that this person's been good her whole life and then has made this error in judgment and got sucked into this vortex of this man.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel for her. I just have so much compassion towards her because I know that's not what she would have ever done on her own.
Right.
And so she has to pay the price for this forever. And I hate that for her. So I'm very conflicted. But I was going to ask you on the concealment, or not the concealment, but on the conspiracy to commit murder, what's the weight of that in terms of jail time? Is that a death penalty thing? Or
it is a death penalty case in Idaho.
Are you planning to ask for that for them? Or do you not?
We sure hope we don't. Okay. A lot of that will depend on her.
Okay.
And it's, that's not a decision that's a decision we don't make actually until usually after the case is filed.
Okay.
In Idaho, we have a couple months because a lot of times you file it, it's out there on the table, and then oftentimes that's a big motivator for people to get together and talk and try and resolve it. And that's what we hope happens. I have no desire to do that. Plus, once you do that, it's endless appeals.
Yeah.
I don't think the other family wants it at all because the case just never resolves, really, in a way. Just kind of, they appeal this and they appeal that, and it can go on forever. So we're sure hoping not to go down there. No, I'm not saying I won't. If we go to trial, I might, but we haven't made up our minds on that.
Okay.
We don't want to. I can tell you that from the bottom of my heart.
Knowing her, if she comes out of this state and realizes the weight of it, she may prefer that. Honestly, I think about that all the time with her just because of what she's been through. I'm just kidding.
Well, I know that you know a lot more about Lori than I do. But we have learned a lot about Lori, and there's there's been some things happen in her life, I think, that have played into this.
Oh, definitely.
And but yeah, like I said, I talk of that in one way a little bit later, but I want you to know that I have no desire to.
Yeah, I think you see it for what it is.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know how you couldn't with interviewing your.
Well, I'll tell you, when I was there in Hawaii, when that the order to produce the children was served, and I was there when they served the search warrants, where the news showed up, which I was super annoyed by that. I never want it. It's just blows everything up, right? At that moment, when we saw them, because your sister can put on a brave face.
Oh yeah.
We were like, oh, does this guy know what he's gotten into?
Mm-hmm.
And because she was just very, very stoic, very like, I'm not going to say a word. And he looked like he was about to pee his pants because he's actually a wimpy person.
Yeah.
Is he wimpy?
Yeah. He's great if he has someone else to do something for him, but he himself is a person.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, we're like, this is all her. Like, how does she hoodwink this guy? But then once we like dug into, that was the beginning as we're like starting to get facts. As we got more facts, like, oh, again, I'm not going to pull punches if I have to go to trial, but these ideas came from him.
Oh yeah.
And she had some different views on theology than like standard LDS by that point, but he really knew how to manipulate that and turn it into something even more.
His influence was there before she met him.
Yes. Yeah. She was reading his books for.
Wasn't just his books. So it was like the Julie Rowe podcasts.
Oh yes.
He gave Julie Rowe a lot of her ideas. And so when she would listen to Julie Rowe, she was getting Chad ideas too at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Julie Rowe. She's interesting.
Mm-hmm. I've heard some of her podcasts. When she started talking about herself in third person all the time, I'm like,
Yeah, I listen to her podcast as well, and interesting stuff. stuff. So.
Garrett doesn't like it when people talk about themselves in the third person.
Neither does Rob. Yeah. Well, hey, we'll let you get going and start on this.
I was going to see if you guys wanted some wristbands to take back with you. These are wristbands I had made up for Tylee and JJ.
I'll come in.
And
That's all right.
Take them as you want.
Take them and give them to everybody.
I'll tell you what.
If you want them, we just
we
did a balloon release.
They've got a couple of wristbands for. Let's see. There's Ron, Ray.
You can just take the whole bag with you. It's fine. Just take
Do you have more than this?
Oh, I have plenty.
Okay.
You can't order less than 100, so you know.
I made up hundreds for. I started off just doing them for Tylee and JJ's friends and teachers. We wear ours all the time, so just keep them close.
Thank you.
Yeah. You guys.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's okay.
You've been in it. You know.
Emotional thing.
You know, it's interesting how you can, in Rexford, those kids went there very well. But there are kids.
Yeah.
And
anytime there's kids involved, it's not okay.
So, thank you.
Yes.
There's not a one among us that doesn't want to protect the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, I'll text Nate and then if you need, I don't know how long this, if we want to, we probably sit down and talk to you for days and days. And we obviously don't have that. But, any breaks you need anything?
Yeah, I'll run it. You bet. Yeah. I told him she's got questions, needs to ask me or needs to use the bathroom, or we'll shut it down and do all that. So.
I'm on the wrong phone.
Okay, just a couple things I want to say about that. I completely agree with Rob Wood when he said that Chad Daybell is highly manipulative. Not highly intelligent, but highly manipulative. And you don't have to be intelligent to be manipulative, and I completely understand and agree with that. Don't you? It was kind of bizarre when he said the case against Lori is stronger. I guess that makes sense because these were her children, so she would have had to put everything, all the ducks in a row, where everybody was at what time to get them into these positions where somebody could kill them, right, if she was involved. So what do you think? Does Chad really think he's this prophet? I don't think so. That's my opinion. Does Lori really think Chad's this prophet? I do think so. I think Lori feels like everything that's happened is part of this greater plan that Chad has set her up to believe in. I had to chuckle when Rob Wood said Mark Means doesn't know what he's doing. He said he's never defended a murder case like this, and he has no idea what he's doing. And I think that was pretty clear all along, but I think it got Mark Means so butthurt that this recording had to be brought into a hearing to try to get rid of Rob Wood based on the prosecutorial misconduct. Because Mark Means didn't like that. That was not nice. That hurt his feelings, pretty much. He did wind up being off the case, as you know, and Mark Means was not qualified for this type of case. Also, I found it really interesting when Rob Wood said, right before we found the bodies, Lori and Chad had a phone conversation, and Lori wanted to come forward and tell where the bodies were, and Chad talked her out of it. And then Rob Wood went on to say, I'm LDS, I've seen these kind of guys. Not that this is anything related to how normal LDS works, but this spiritual manipulation. I'm the guy, I'm the prophet, I'm the husband, you have to listen to me. I'm the visionary guy. Chad plays that card, and I agree. I believe he really does play that card a lot. When Rob Woods was there in Hawaii, when they pulled Lori and Chad out and searched them and all that stuff, and then Nate Eaton of East Idaho News showed up, and then Rob says, that annoyed me when the media was there, blah, 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 whatever. That was the best part of this entire case, as far as media went, was when Nate Eaton followed Chad and Lori with the microphone on the walkway as Lori pulled Chad along I think that was amazing. I am so happy that Nate got that. And of course, Rob Wood's like, oh, I don't like that or whatever, but Dateline's used it. Everybody's used it. It was probably one of the best moments when we were looking for Lori and Chad, and there they were. And Nate got him. Where are your children? That's great. Lori and her like, that's fine. That's great. And like grabbing Chad and running. Oh my gosh. That was classic. That is one of the most classic moments in this entire case when it came to anything where we actually saw Lori and Chad on camera. But I love that Rob Wood said he's wimpy. All right, then we are going to end now. That ends Afterglow, Unveiling the Idaho Cult, Season 4, Episode 6. 11 days after. Sisters in Conflict. I'm Kathy Brooks. Thank you so much for listening. Stay safe and stay well. And I will be back soon.